Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at some of the updates for data tables within Salesforce Flows. These updates came out a little while ago, probably 6-8 months ago. It's a feature that I haven't personally played with until recently, but it's a very powerful tool and I'm really excited about it and I want to show you guys. A little bit of backstory just in case you don't know. Before data tables within Salesforce Flows, they were really just for read-only, either read-only or you'd have to select one of the rows and then go to another screen to collect edits for those. So for example, in the scenario we're going to be looking at today, is maybe you want to update contacts. You have a button on this account page. When you click it and you can view all the contacts in your data table, you're going to actually be able to edit the phone number, email, or really whatever field you want to display into that data table directly within the one flow now. Before, you couldn't do that. There were a lot of tools on AppExchange which people were using to get around this. I know this was a real life scenario I ran into in 2023. What we were looking for is having an editable data table within a flow, and that's something we couldn't necessarily build ourselves with a Lightning Web Component at the time. So we were looking at AppExchange options. What's great is now natively Salesforce is providing that to us, which is amazing. So let's just jump into this thing. So this is the account that I want to be using. I have a couple of test contacts on here and just some setup if you want to follow along. I created a record ID variable that I can pass in the account ID into. I have it marked available for input. I have the get related contacts object. So it's get object, contact, the account ID equals the record ID we're passing in, and I'm storing all the records. You need this for your data table because you need a collection variable so that it displays. You cannot pass a single collection, like a single collection variable. It will not let you select it and it will not work. Within the screen, I named it Edit Contacts. I have a simple data table here that I've named Edit Contacts, and I've named it Contact Data Table. The source collection is the contacts from the get record. Like I was telling you before, it has to be a collection variable to be able to store here. The rest of the setup is important. So I'm allowing search, which is great. That way you can, if you have 50 contacts, you're going to be able to search by name, phone, or email. It's whatever columns that you have in the data table is what you're able to search by. That's important to know. I configured my rows to be view only. The reason why is I don't want users to be able to select this because I want them to be able to edit the contacts directly in the data table for my scenario. For a real world scenario, you may want them to be able to select a single row or multiple. Within the columns, this is where you're going to specify what fields you want displayed. So full name, I wanted to put that in there. This field is available to be sorted, but not edited because this is a concatenation field between first name and last name. If you were to add first name, middle, and last name, you could edit those. But since it's a concatenation field, you can only sort by this. But this is what's cool. I've added business phone in, right? Right here, this is the two new fields, or excuse me, checkbox fields that they've added in for us to be able to actually edit and mess with. So you can sort the column values, which is what we did for full name. But on this one, we have the option to edit column values. This is key. With this selected, we'll be able to actually edit the phone number, the business phone. And then I did the exact same thing for email. And just to show you what it looks like when you add in a new field for your account, let's just say birth date, we'll add that in for fun. This one is not an editable field for me, so it's got it grayed out. Let's try a different one here. Let's see. Let's try first name. Now you can see I can edit that column. And I can also sort by it. I'll leave it there for now. And I'm actually going to reorder it. If you didn't know, the little dots here, you're able to click and drag this up. So I want to put it up by full name so it doesn't look too weird with it at the end like that. But yes, that's how you go in and edit the fields. And also remember that if the end user using your flow does not have edit access to that field, it does not matter if you mark it editable in the flow, they will not be able to edit it. It's just like viewing issues. If someone doesn't have view access to a field, they won't show up in the flow either. You'll run into issues there. Anywho, I'm going to hit done. I'm gonna hit save this real quick so I don't lose that. And then I'll show you what I'm doing with the edit contact records element. So I just used an update records element, and I used the IDs and specified. Use the IDs and fields values from record or record collection. I'm gonna clear this out. So you need to select the records you want to update. So you're gonna select your screen, and within the screen, the edit contacts is the data table. And you know this based on this little lightning thing. You can also hover over this information section, and you see that API name called contact data table. My naming convention is if I have a data table, I put the object name and then data table, so I always know what it is. Now, the new option you're going to see is edited rows. Before is first selected row and selected rows. First selected row is for your single values. That's your first row you select. But selected rows is if you're doing multiple. And edited rows is like what we're doing. We're allowing edits to certain fields. So you're going to select that. So Salesforce, even though you're going in, you may be making multiple edits on different rows, it's basically taking those changes and using the record ID of that contact and storing the changes with it. And you know that if you've worked with data tables before, you'll know down here, where is it? I think it's in rows. The unique identifier, select the field that uniquely identifies each record, such as an ID, resource, or API name. You always want this to be ID, and it defaults to that. So it's like, hey, this contact ID, we've changed the phone number, and it relates those two in the collection variable. I'm going to make sure this is saved, and let's take this puppy for a spin. So I'm going to go, while that's saving, I'm going to go ahead and grab my record ID for this account. If you didn't know, the record ID is up in the URL. Actually, I already have it in here because I've been playing with this thing. But anyway, so we have that. We're going to run it. So you can see in our debug, it got the record, get the related contacts. It successfully did that. I also know because I can see them here. You can see I'm not able to select it here, but you can search by phone number, whatever value you want. As I type in, nothing's happening. This data table, you do have to hit enter to search. So as I clear these out, it doesn't make them reappear. You have to actually clear it out and hit enter. That's one negative of a data table. I wish they would fix that. But now we have a pencil icon. Maybe I want to change Jack Rogers' number to be, let's just make it 9,000 at the end for easy remembering. And it's going to ask you, hey, are you sure you want to do that? Let's just go ahead and finish up our changes and we'll confirm everything. Let's just change this one to 2,000. So now I know that for Jack, his phone number is going to end in 9,000. Jane is going to be 2,000. And we could change the emails too if you hit the icon, but I'm not going to do that. Now here's the thing. You have to confirm these changes. I'm going to hit confirm. It does nothing, but really it's just an extra step of confirmation before you're able to push on that, hey, user, are you sure you want to change these values? Yes, no. That's all that is. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and hit save. You can see on our left, we had our screen edit contacts and it updated our contact record. You can see the values that were updated here. But let's go through and look at our contacts. I'm gonna just go ahead and refresh this page because I can see their phone numbers from the account directly. And you can see Jack's was updated to end in 9,000 and Jane's was updated to end in 2,000. This is a super cool feature because before, like I said, we were having to use custom LWCs to be able to do these types of edits. So this is a really powerful tool. So as you're working in your org, try to think of ideas that you could use this for. I've had many use cases over the years where I want to display multiple records and maybe the user wants to edit multiple records in here. You know, before you would have to maybe select Jack and Jane, and then the next screen you maybe use a repeater component to try to capture those changes and push them back. I built this flow in no time. I mean, took me a couple of minutes to build this out. Such a time saver. And if you haven't checked it out, make sure to get into the sandbox and play with it. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. I appreciate you watching this video. Make sure to leave it a like if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.